All right, today we're talking about Dustrunner by Gnome Games. It's another one of those mint tins. You've seen a lot of those come up recently. Again, that was how I went on Game Crafter, bought a bunch of small games, went on the mint tin guys, bought a bunch of small games, kind of get this channel up and going. Trying to support indie devs. So if you like independent games, want weird ones, it's another solo game. It's part of the Tin series, Volume 5. So there's like a whole series of tin games from Gnome Games. And there's like a fun quirk if you collect them all. There's pieces to expand each game in each one. And if I'm wrong about that, correct me, Jason, but that is one of the cool things I've noticed is there's parts, and then you can collect them all by being a serious collector. So that's lovely about the Minton games, again, is they're small, compact, they can go anywhere. These couple I've been showing you are all solo games, so you can play by yourself anytime you just need to unwind and do something. I love the artwork here on Dustrunner, and I'll show you these exploration cards. The same thing. It's over here's the camera. Jason does his artwork himself. He's been working on it for more than a decade now, so he's been doing fantasy and now a cyberpunk thing. I'm a big fan of the Cyberpunk 2077, was it? That sounds right. And again, tear me apart in the comments if I'm wrong. But that game with Keanu Reeves in it, I played it quite a bit. And this is like a cool nod to that and that whole genre of like Mad Max and cyber technology getting implanted in your heads and Johnny Mnemonic stuff. Another Keanu Reeves movie. But just come take a look at the game. So here in Dustrunner, you got to decide what you want your car to look like, and there's back and forth on that. You get points based on the stars there for your starting thing. There's give and take for each one. I have randomly set up one here. You set up the track with the cards there. Either of these meeples, just remember which one's the raider and which one's yours. The modification deck, you shuffle and get one at random, and then you can look through the rest and pick a second one, and then set those aside. You get the resolution deck here, shuffled and face down, and then the exploration deck, shuffled and face down. Here you have your tracker card as well that tells you how many points you have as you go along. So I am at 5 because of how my car is built. Each turn is done by first getting 2 cards from the exploration deck here. You leave them face down. Then decide which one you want to turn face up first. So here's card 1. The farm, I can do this. I can resolve the things on this card. But if I choose, if this was bad or whatever, and I choose to discard it instead, I then have to do whatever this other card says. I think we'll go ahead and do this. Advance the raiders 1 space. Well, that would be bad, right? Because what I'm trying to do is get away from the raiders. So I think I will go ahead and discard that one. Let's put this discard pile here. But I have to interact with this one, which is the ambulance. Spend 1 fuel, move 1 space, or gain 3 health. Since I'm full health, I'm going to go ahead and move 1 space. That's not so bad for a starting turn. So let's talk about some of the other cards, like a Raider's attack card, right? Then you would pull the resolution deck. You'd pull one of these and then see what's up. So the Raiders have their health, who attacks first. If it's the dude in the helmet, it's you. If it's a Raider icon, it's them. How much damage is dealt, how far they move at the end of combat, and if this icon matches that icon, you can get this bonus loot. So you get this loot if you win, but this bonus loot if this moon and moon match up, because there'll be different icons on the resolution cards. There's, as you can see on the back, there's the whole moon or the circle moon. So that's pretty neat, in-depth mechanic there for battling. As you move down the track, if you take the path with a star, you get 3 victory points there. But you should know the raider will always follow the shortest path to you and be on your path as they move too. So if you go for that top 3 points there, you won't get another one till the end. But if you go on the bottom path, you'll get 2 extra there than the end. That's if you can get to the end. This game is set up in such a way that you may not actually win when you play. The whole point of the tracker card here is to see how well you did. You can not get to the end and have the game end on you, and then be able to see your points and say, hey, did I do better than the last time I tried? Even though I didn't win, I still have like a measuring stick for how I did. I think that's pretty clever of Jason. His games are getting more robust the longer he develops. Has been deving games. He's got, I want to say, like a dozen out on the market. He's done over the last 10, 12 years or so. So check out Gnome Games, Dustrunner, Mint 10 series if you're into small portable games like that. But check out his other great games like Zogar's Gaze, Zogar's Revenge, Iron Helm, Dig Down Dwarf, Four Tribes, and some other ones he's partnered with other designers like Siege of Sunfall and others. He's just a great indie developer. You can get a lot of his games over at the Game Crafter. He'd been there for a long time and was a big name there when I started developing my own games and moved on to reviews. But that's as you play through the game. It kind of reminds me of FTL, if you've ever played that on the PC, where you have like your spaceship that has resources, health, ammo that you have to use up as you move along, modifications. And that's what's neat about changing it up is you can get other mods, but when you start, you get random ones. So there's some variety every time you play. And I mentioned before the bonus cards. I got 2 cards here for the Iron Helm Mint Tin. Or Iron Shield. There's one of, I can't remember which Iron game, but these are obviously not part of this game. They're a bonus for the other game, which is pretty neat. So check us back on Broken Prism Reviews. We'll be doing other indie and some big name games as well, but our goal is to share our joy of playing board games with the world. So letting you know what's out there that you may never have seen before, or taking down big publishers that are just ripping off licensed IPs for quick cash grabs. We have some of those coming up where I will get brutal on Disney. All right, enjoy.